How are you? কি সুন্দর লাগছে দেখতে। Okay. Hi Rani. Hi.
Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am. From Raja Ki Aayegi Barat till now, Mrs. Chatterjee, how much do you feel cinema has changed the world?
I sure have changed. I was 17 then and now I'm like 46. So yes, there has been a lot of change. And of course, audiences have changed over the decades. And what is constant, I would like to believe, is their love for me. And I can't pray for more because the kind of love and support and the unconditional love that I've received from them over the years, that has kept me going. So I thank my fans from the bottom of the heart to help me strive harder and help me to keep bettering my skills.
Rani, your answer chat to was who are doing movies like Pichli, Madani, this is Tattoo versus Norway. Do you still believe that we need more female actors or we need more producers to back these kind of movies and to make these movies?
Yes, I think also the responsibility lies on the audience. The more the audience will go and see these films, the more of these films will be made.
Ma'am,
Says Adira.
Yes.
Ma'am, but do you think the audience has also changed with these kind of movies being, the kind of production that we've seen? We're seeing a lot more women-led movies and fantastic. Do you think the audience has changed?
Of course, like from time immemorial, we've seen films that Nargis ji have done, Madhubala ji and Nutan ji. They've all done films which were always very much based from the woman's point of view. So it's not as if it's the first time that something like that is happening. It's been happening through the years, through the decades. But every decade there will come a time where people will prefer a certain kind of film for some time. But it's not as if that's the thing that keeps going on. So the audiences are eclectic. They like a different spread of films and ideas and stories. And what I have seen with my experience is you give an audience a film with your heart, and if you're true to the genre and the film, it works with an audience. So I think it's important to always choose a script. That's what I do because I can speak for myself. I like to choose a script that resonates with me as a woman first, as an Indian woman, something that I can play and show to the world that what Indian women are all about. Also a film that inspires and is aspirational because in our everyday lives we need a story of a hero, to inspire us and to feel good about ourselves because we also want to better ourselves, with each day. So especially if I take Mrs. Chatterjee versus Norway, for me as a mother, it was an eye-opener. For me as an Indian, it was an eye-opener to understand the plight of immigrant Indian women outside of India. We don't get to hear such stories. We do hear of immigrant stories, but this really shook me because it was about bringing up your children. And the question that was asked as to why an Indian woman can't raise her children the way she wants to was something that shook me. Because we all women are the same when it comes to our children. We want the best for our children. And no mother in her right mind would do anything which would be detrimental to a child's growth. So for me, that was shocking. It was an eye-opener, and I wanted the story to reach as many people. And today, the fact that Mrs. Chatterjee versus Norway is nominated, my character is nominated, speaks volumes of the fact that globally the film has been accepted, and people have not only related with Devika's character, but they've also given so much love, and that's why I'm here today.
Rani, 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 Rani,
From your character from Mrs. Chatterjee was one quality you like to like, what would those be?
So, Devika is very much like my mom. So I'm already imbibing qualities of my mom. Didi, Didi, Didi.
Right here. How are you? Thank you. Abira, I love you. Sure, सब दे दो. हाँ.
Okay, let's start with
That's a magnetic mic. You can put it.
So, you have been doing our job at IIFA. Sayani,
Yeah.
what is this?
Are you getting paid to do it? I am.
Sorry, I should be talking to you, you know.
You should never talk on camera, I'm telling you. But tell me, who did you enjoy the most talking to?
Oh, a bunch of people actually. My friends, Mini Kabir, Maria, Arshad, but also Kejo. We had a very long, very poignant conversation. Ramesh Sippy sir, actually bunch Kusha. Like I've had some really incredible conversations, and I'm quite surprised myself that it happened in this space, which is quite chaotic. But I think I have a corner, so I'm like, come in, just have this conversation with me already, and everyone's like, oh, these are all thinkers, you know. But I want to be able to like talk to them.
I'm jealous because we didn't get any. Thanks, huh?
Shiny, women-led films are being made today. Women are showing a lot of movies, great movies for that matter. I want to know how much justice do we do when we make, women-led films in Bollywood?
Yeah, first of all, we have to stop talking about it like women-led films. There's no such thing. You have protagonists. Sorry. Hi. Hi. How are you? Oh my God. So good. I'm good. Bye, bye, bye. Sorry. Don't fall, yo. Sorry. Yeah. So please stop calling them women-led films. I think when, for years men were, sort of headlining films and nobody said, oh, men-led films, right? But you have all kinds of stories being told now, irrespective of the gender, which is amazing. But I also fear that in the name of representation, it shouldn't be wrong representation or just tokenism, because that's something that we have to be mindful of. But having said that, it's amazing that we are trying to be at least inclusive. Whether or not we succeed on, that's something time will tell. But I think at least the intent is there, which is amazing. And also stories from all parts of India, all parts of, not just urban but also rural, and all kinds of faces that you see now. So that, yeah.
But I'm so sorry to even say this.
Yeah.
Then, do you think, with the changes that we've seen, like, more powerful roles coming into management, do you think the changes also coming behind?
Uh,
Like women are being
behind the scene?
behind the scene? Is things changing for women?
Yes, they are. At least this conversation with this entire thing of Hema committee, and so there is conversation about it. I don't think, is it enough? No. But at least there is an awareness. And I always say that maybe if I were to work, many years ago when things were not so formalized, now these days, with the studio system and many other things that have come about, at least there are certain things you can't do, or people will think twice. So I think those kind of things are, and the only way is to hire more women in front of the camera, but also behind the camera. Fill your rooms with, why will you not have not just writers, but all kinds of HODs and technicians and everyone. So, and that you see, when you walk into a room or a set now, there are so many more women than it used to be. Because earlier, all these senior actors would tell you only your hairstylist and the heroine and the heroine's mother would be the only women on set. And now it's no more the case, which is what is required. And also in your writing rooms.
Also, at the same time, when you have the Hema committee, that point everybody's talking about it, great. But after that, after a few years, everything stops and people are back in action and the same thing repeats. What? Where are we going?
यार वही तो है ना अब मतलब see I am on a very like I've always been extremely stringent about things that people who I work with and things like that. A lot of times I've been told you're being stupid, but I know as a human being it's important to me. I do not work with people who've been accused of me too, and that's a stand I take. A lot. And I not lose, I won't say lose, I don't do it. So it's not a matter of, oh, I wish I had done it. So, a loss is when you feel a regret. I don't feel no regret. But having said that, it's also interesting because I see a lot of other people who I know who seem to have the right kind of politics go do those roles. So I'm also at this stage where I'm like, I don't know, am I wrong? Or, I'm also going through that process. But again, I have to sleep well at night. And I love to sleep. So it's important for me.
I loved your performance in Call Me Bay, Anamika's, Madhulika's role for that
Yeah.
matter. I want to know that, the situation that you're
Yeah.
in the show. Has there ever been a situation like this for you in real life where somebody influential has tried to
Oh, thank God
use
it
their power?
hasn't. And I would like to think that it's grace and just God or the universe looking out for me. It hasn't, but also I'm very like I don't care who it is. If I feel unsafe, I would get out of that. So yeah, I'm very thankful it hasn't, but I obviously know that it happens to so many people, and every day there's so many new cases that come out and come into the light of day. But yeah, but it's a very important sort of track in the show and an important thing to speak about, especially in a show like that, which is commercial, which will be seen by so many people, etc.
But like she said, after a point of time when things taper down, what do you think, according to you, should be done when for this talk to be there?
Just being accountable. And the thing is that accountability will only come when we hold each other accountable. You know, no change can come from one individual, and change will never come if we are only looking at convenience. Convenience come in the way of accountability, and convenience being, whether it's power, whether it's money, whether it's work, whatever, you know and again, everyone operates from a different space, but and I'm sure, a lot of people would be like, listen, it's so difficult to get work in the first place, it's so difficult to get work as women at the first place, then why do we even lose out on work that is coming to us? And there are all kinds of discourses around it, but and it's a very personal thing. I mean, who am I to sort of judge somebody else's choices? Yeah, but to each her own. But I feel holding people accountable, like what happened in America, you know, in many ways, did not happen here because again, no one really cares, really.
Lapata Ladies has made it to the Oscars.
Yes, what a film, what a good film, yeah.
What do you have to say?
Please go in it. Please. Yeah.
Also one more thing. We have seen movies like Animal and Uncertainty also doing a lot of commercial sex. I'm very sorry to ask this, but generally,
I'm sorry, ma'am. Can you ask him to stop?
Guys, we are having an interview here.
No.
you take another topic again.
Yeah.
We've
Why are you
seen-
getting me into trouble?
No, I'm not. I'm saying generally, just one simple question. It's not
Yeah.
even on that.
Yeah.
So, so basically, we've also seen the movies like Animal and Ancillary also being
Yeah.
critically acclaimed and getting the kind of box office collections that we've seen.
Mm.
Do you also believe, like as an actor, okay? Do you believe when the audience is going to the cinema hall, are we getting too critical about the art that we're seeing and we're forgetting that movies are made for entertainment?
Oh, there cannot be entertainment without uh, knowledge, awareness, politics, and art. I mean, I'm not saying make a really boring film. My only thing is, dude, it's film. Please don't bore me. But it doesn't mean that you make something which is incredibly hurtful to any section of the population. I mean, it's not about any one specific film, but there are many films that are, I'm sure, offensive. But also the problem is today everyone is ready to get offended for many other things that they shouldn't probably get offended with. But yeah, but I don't think you should you know what you're doing, and you're doing it for a reason, and you're smart to be able to do it, and you're smart to be able to package it in a way and make it well so it sells. So you're a smart guy, you know exactly what you're doing, and people are coming in. It's a honey trap, so it's what it is. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And have you seen it?
Huh?
Have you seen it?